The Vegas Golden Knights have done it again, and this time a Sharks fan favorite is the Prey.
The Locked On Podcast Network presents the NHL Trade Deadline.
Rachel Donner here from Locked On NHL, along with JD Young of Locked On Sharks to break down the San Jose Sharks trading beloved Tomáš Hertl to division rival Vegas Golden Knights for a 2025 first round pick, a center prospect in David Edstrom, and there's 2 third-round picks involved, retained salary involved for the Sharks. I mean, this came seemingly out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was whispers that Hurdle could be potentially moved this summer, especially as he's 30. He hasn't won a cup, right? And, he doesn't want to stick around what's going to be now a very long and painful rebuild for the Sharks. But yeah, this one was surprising. I thought Hurdle, especially because he's out right now with the knee injuries. He's supposed to be back either right before the playoffs or at the time of the playoffs. I thought it was going to be something at least we would wait until the summer. But yeah, this. I was shocked when I saw this one.
Do you think that the Sharks got enough in return, considering it was a trade deadline deal and not an off-season move?
I mean, getting a first round pick in 2025 is nice. And David Edstrom, who was a first round pick last year, is, okay. But I think sending the 2/3, I don't know why. That just feels like the cherry on top of the deal being bad. You're going to have to retain salary for Hurdle through the 29-30 season, which feels like fake numbers to me. At 17% of his contract, it's about $2 million or so. And the Sharks they've used up all the retention slots for the next couple seasons. So it's going to be interesting what the Sharks do with Edstrom and this first round pick, which is we're going to project to be an end of the first round draft pick in 2025 because Vegas just keeps doing this every time they get a chance. So it feels a little light, but you are getting off the Hurdle contract that does free up, $6.75 million. That if Mike Grier wants to be aggressive in free agency when the Shark prospects start to kind of hit their peak here, it allows him to do that. But it does feel a little light at the moment, but we'll see what Grier continues to do with this newfound money in the bank.
Yeah, I think it does affect the Sharks in their rebuild timeline, given that, this is now off the board as an off-season move. And, I think Hertl has been, a huge part of the Sharks. It kind of changes almost the character of the team at this point with him not there. So how do they sell this rebuild now, given that this such a strong personality is now gone?
I mean, you're hoping Will Smith, who's lighting it up for Boston College, continues to progress well. We'll see if he signs after this season. That's one of the big questions. But the Sharks have to win the draft lottery this year and get Macklin Celebrini. That's the only way you can really kind of point to this to being a success. And I mean, the Sharks haven't had Hurdle for the last couple, since the All-Star break. And the Sharks have also coincidentally not won a game in, 9 straight games here. But Celebrini needs to come home. He former junior Shark. His dad works for the Warriors. Like, this is all pointing to if Celebrini comes home, I think you can at least smooth over this a little bit. But yeah, I think right now this is just part of all the old core, right? You had Brent Burns leave, Joe Pavelski leave, Erik Karlsson. I assume Logan Couture is probably going to be traded this offseason now, and now Tomáš Hertl. Like it is a new day in San Jose.
Yeah. So what makes you think it was Hertl that got moved now instead of Couture?
Well, both are injured, but Hertl has been playing well. And before his knee surgery, they made it seem like if the Sharks were actually in the hunt, he would continue to play. But this is more of a precautionary thing. Couture, who missed the first half of the season, played 6 games and basically had his injury re-aggravated. I think that scares teams away right now is just him not being able to stay on the ice. And Hertl's just been a better player, right? Despite the Sharks being so bad. Hertl's been one of the best, if not most consistent players for the Sharks this season. I think his value, which is much higher, even though the contract for him is longer and a little bit more expensive. He's just a better player than Logan Couture is right now.
All right. Well, good luck with the Macklin Celebrini hunt, and I'm sure you will have lots of great content around that leading up to the draft this year, as you always do in terms of the Locked On Sharks draft content. Be sure to subscribe to Locked On Sharks wherever you get your podcasts, and JD will break down everything Sharks related to the NHL trade deadline there. You can find it anywhere you subscribe to podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.